Grab your mouse ears and ready your wands. You're tuning in to Castles to Cauldrons, your ultimate guide to the magic, the thrills, and everything in between. From strolling right down the middle of Main Street, USA, to dodging fire-breathing dragons in Diagon Alley, we've got your theme park adventures covered. And now, sharing their hottest takes and best tips, here are your hosts, Jason, Micah, Rachel, and Terry.
Welcome to episode 60 of Castles to Cauldrons. I'm your host, Jason Davis. I'm here with Micah, Rachel, and Terry.
Hello. Hey, sick.
How's y'all's weeks going? Anything exciting?
What is it,
Busy.
Thursday?
End of the year. We're in high gear now.
I've been
Less
busy
than a month.
booking 2027 Walt Disney World.
Yeah.
I wish. I have
And,
people I've put out for that have asked for it, and they never got back to me.
and the offer for the 50% off guest 2 or guest 3, 4, and 5, ages 17 and below for DCL was
That's
an
a good offer.
amazing deal. Amazing deal. So
I
that's
may or
what
may
my
not have
week
been
has
pricing stuff out for myself on that
Well,
too,
yeah.
because we want to go. But I also booked a 2027 Walt Disney World trip this weekend while I was in Greenville. She had messaged me months ago and was like, whenever 2027 stuff is announced, please let me know. As soon as it was, I sent her stuff, and then she got back to me this weekend, and we booked it.
You talk about looking for cruises for yourself, Micah. We've been looking at the San Diego sailings for DCL for next spring break. That's what we kind of want to do. Do a Disneyland trip, do DCL out of San Diego. It's on the Wonder.
No.
That might be what we do. If Travis really likes this cruise this summer, we'll
I'm sure he
Right,
will.
yeah.
I think he'll like it.
I love San Diego.
I've never been to San Diego, so that's the other thing.
Me neither.
It's a great city.
Never been. I want to go, but I've never been.
And that's what we thought. Like, we can do Disneyland, take him out there for the first time, do a couple days, and then it's like a 2-hour drive or something down to San Diego. Get that and get on a boat and fly out of San Diego. Get out on a ship.
Oh,
Honestly,
shit.
it's a ship, not a boat.
Yep.
Well, let's start. We don't have any Universal news. I was hoping for some HHN stuff, but
No,
we got-
there's an offer that came out.
there's a new ticket offer, I know, which is buy 3, get 2 days free, right?
Yeah.
That's a good one, but that's the only real big
Right. And they
7
They,
days, 14 days to use it.
quietly released that.
Yeah. And that's the thing I always like about Universal is they're doing stuff like that. Buy the 3-day, get 2 free. You don't see Disney throwing out 2 free days of their theme parks. This isn't like Volcano Bay added on. This is Epic Universe, Islands of Adventure, or Universal Studios.
No, they did. They had that 2-day free when you bought 4 days.
I know, but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah,
It's
that was the
not-
first time Disney
it's
ever
not a
did that.
typical, it's not a typical
Right.
offer. This is a typical Universal
Of course,
offer.
yeah.
yearly thing for them. And even for their annual passes, they give you 3 extra months on your annual pass if you renew or buy a new one during a certain time. You don't see that with Disney.
No,
So-
I thought it was fantastic.
So I love that because Universal's always throwing that out there. It's just like it's like they're free dining. It's like, when are they going to have this ticket? Well, if they have it, take advantage of it because it's a great one. And it really is a week-long vacation now going to Universal because of the 3 parks, being able to see everything you want to do and enjoy it and just relax.
But especially if you add Volcano Bay in there. That
Yeah.
is amazing water park.
Yeah.
Love it.
But you just threw out a really good reason why it's great to have like a travel advisor, because these tickets are thrown out. They're not really big release. So if you're trying to plan this by yourself, it could be something that you missed. It's not like, because I don't know if you noticed, but lately I feel like we still have like a regular satellite dish, programming. So we watch actual commercials on TV and stuff. And it's tons of Disney commercials out there between DCL and their Cool Kids Summer. I don't know if they're still calling it that, but
It is.
They are.
commercials everywhere. But very rarely you get Universal. So if you're trying to plan it by yourself, you've got a million things going on in your life. You might miss a drop like that where you can call and get your prices changed, or maybe get some bonus days on there. Whereas if you have a travel advisor, they're doing that for you for no extra cost, and they can just call you and say, hey, this came up, or they can email you if you don't take a call and say, let me know if you want me to press go on this. And they kind of do all the dirty work for you, or you just get to enjoy the vacation instead of thinking about it, which is sometimes the hardest part is, especially, sorry, Jason, as a mom, you sometimes are over a vacation before you get there because you've planned so much, and then you've packed everyone's clothes, and then you've gotten everyone on the airplane, and you're done. So let us take care of part of that for you, at least. And you don't have to fly. So there's another thing off your plate.
Yeah.
When you're talking about the commercials, I'll just throw this out there, though. I see a lot of Universal commercials because we watch a lot of the Universal channels, and when we watch Peacock and stuff like that.
Yep.
I think that's, though, because Disney knows that outside of ABC, NBC stations, the only place they get to advertise without paying for it is the Disney Channel.
Well, they get
Universal-
ESPN and all that. That's owned by
said
Disney.
outside of ABC and ESPN. But when it comes to Universal, that's owned by Comcast, who has
Everything.
Yeah. I mean, Bravo, USA, NBC, that's where all the adults are watching anyway. So they're just throwing that stuff out there. And
Yeah,
then
I've seen Universal commercials because I have Comcast.
Yeah.
We still have regular cable.
See, we
On
have
top of
Stream.
but everything else.
well, let's talk about Halloween for a second, since I want to talk about HHN and we can't do that. So Disney has been doing halfway to Halloween. As we're recording this, it's considered halfway to Halloween because it's April 30th. Walt Disney World announced their tickets will go on sale May 5th for the Not So Scary Halloween party. And they have 6 million days like usual for the Halloween.
They do.
a lot of days to choose from.
The first
Starting
party,
really early.
yeah. First one starts before school starts back at August 7th.
It depends on where you are. Kova goes back to school the first Monday in August.
Goodness. And then it runs all the way through select dates through October 31st, so Halloween. I would expect the 7th to sell out first because that's when all the bloggers, that's the influencers, all those people go there to be the first people to get all the new things, because there's they're teasing roaming villains throughout the night. A lot of new costumes, like always, a lot of new merch. So this should be really cool, really fun event. And then I would think October 1st would be the next day that sells out, considering
Of course.
it's Saturday off for Halloween. But we're planning on going to that one because we really want to go take Travis trick-or-treating in the Magic Kingdom on Halloween. So I think that he's the perfect age to do it.
Yes, he is.
I was going to say, it goes on sale for resort guests May
Right.
5th, but then the general public, if you don't have a resort stay, is May 12th.
And the resort stays are on property. So it is like the Swan and Dolphin, the Disney resorts. Was Shades of Green included in that? I don't remember seeing them.
I haven't checked because I can't book Shades of Green.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I know that Swan and Dolphin are, some of my clients have Marriott points they want to use to spend for that. So they're going to stay there and get their tickets. So I had to make sure about it. So good time. And that's a really good event. I enjoy it. It's not, we've talked about it every time. I think Christmas is better, but Halloween's fun.
I just want to
fun
say,
there.
if you're on the fence, just do it because
Yeah.
every single date is going to sell out. It sold out last year. It's going to sell out again this year. You know, we joke that they have, a gazillion days, but I mean,
There's limited tickets.
there's
So
limited tickets and there's a demand for it. It is by far, that parade is one of my favorite parades.
the best.
The shovelers, just the best. Due to you,
Who to you is the best parade.
the best.
It really
So,
is.
If you're on the fence, do it. It is worth it.
This is also a good year for those who want to see the transformation from Halloween to Christmas. Since Halloween is on Saturday and they don't have a November Halloween party, you can go on Saturday and stay, like check in on the 30th and stay through Wednesday of the next week. So there's going to be a Friday the 13th in November. Think about that. So you stay like until the 5th of November, you're going to see Christmas. You're going to get Halloween and
Yep.
Christmas in one trip. Usually the first Christmas party isn't, but like a week and a half after the last Halloween party. So you could theoretically be able to hit both parties.
It's usually the 8th, 7th, 8th, 9th is
Yeah.
usually the first Christmas party.
We were at the first Christmas party, not this past November, the November before. And we were there. And again, tons of influencers, vloggers, like we saw them all with their cameras and
Yeah.
stuff. And it just happened to fall in the week that we were going to be there. And that just happened to be like the day we planned on taking a break. So we're like, well, we're going to go to the party that night because we didn't want to change around like what our itinerary was, and it worked out. It was great. I mean, I love going to the parties. Like the Mickey's Not So Scary, the Very Merry Christmas Party. They're all fantastic.
And I think
HHN.
you've got to do them all at least once.
Yeah.
Even if you're on the fence, like Rachel said, do it at least once, because because it's an extra ticket, don't say, oh, we don't want to do that expense, or this is not worth it, blah, blah. You got to do it.
You get in at 4:00 with that ticket.
Yeah.
So have your rest day in the morning and the afternoon. Go at 4:00. Get the maxed out of your extra ticket and do it. I do want to say, if you're going during these times and you don't get a ticket, Magic Kingdom closes at 6.
Yes.
You cannot get dining after the fact.
Plan your other park days on party nights.
Yeah,
Like, unless it's not important, because those are less busy days at Magic Kingdom.
Right.
Typically, like if seeing the fireworks isn't that important to you, if you're going to do basically like rope drop to closing the park at 6:00, you'll probably be able to get a lot done that day. Like, and if fireworks are not as important to you, or you're going to be there a different night, it's not a terrible day to be.
Because
at
a lot of
Magic
people are
Kingdom.
skipping that day. So you do make a great point that from open till 4, a lot of people will be at the other parks.
Yeah, I mean, it does get a little busier from that 4 to 6 because all the
Yeah.
Halloween party guests are coming in, but then they open the bypass around Main Street for all the party guests to end up going down that anyway.
And then you have that hour buffer between 6 and 7 where they're getting the day guest out.
6,
and the party gets
7.
through.
Sorry, had to do it.
And, but something else that's going on at this time is the Food and Wine Festival. Somehow the Food and Wine Festival starts after the Halloween party. I would figure they would want to like start them about the same time.
It was that way
Different
last year
parts.
too, right? Like near the end of August last year too.
And this is coming from the guy that was complaining they were doing Food and Wine Festival like the 6th of July through November, like right after COVID. So they're starting Food and Wine August 27th and runs through November 25th. I do like that it's still a short period versus that long period they were having. I like when Epcot is slow for the summer and you don't have a big event happening. But the Food and Wine Festival is always a good choice to go to on your day off for Magic Kingdom. Halloween party days.
I like that it's like a couple months long, where like farts is like a month.
Yeah.
So
And I don't know how they can extend farts because
wait, farts is Festival of the Arts, by the way.
Yes.
I guess you could extend it to a point where you have it literally run up to the day before Flower and Garden goes on. Because a lot of that Flower and Garden stuff now is artsy with the temporaries. And just kind of retheme the booths like within 2 days. But I wish they would extend that one the most. Because after that, like, you can't
Guess it's
extend
just-
Christmas in any way.
You
Like,
can't
it
expect
starts.
Christmas, and then Flower and Garden, I guess, has to start at a certain time because of the blossoms and blooms of flowers.
Yeah. And we're there this year, like literally right at the end. I think Flower and Garden ends on June 1st. And I'm there on May 30th. So like we're there like very end of Flower and Garden.
I don't think I'll make it a Flower and Garden. Let's move over to the West Coast for a few seconds, minutes, whatever. Big news coming from Disneyland is that they have changed their way to get into the parks. And it's kind of reminiscent of what Universal's doing in Orlando. They have started doing facial recognition, which I think is pretty awesome.
So are they going to have like a thing on the app like Universal where you like scan your face so it already knows and it's connected to your ticket?
What it is,
It works at Universal.
I think it's more of it's at the tap styles, what used to be the tap styles. Now they're just gonna be gates. They're like glass gates that open and close for each guest. They'll take your picture on the first your first entry with your ticket. And then that's how you go in and out for that period. And I think it's 30 days is how long your picture stays in their system. And they don't call it a picture. It's like the data, because they transfer the picture into numbers and all that stuff. So that they're not keeping anything. That's the same way they do the fingerprints.
It's the Matrix.
Right. You get all the Japanese going down in green lines. But I think that makes it easy because I really like when Universal has it going, that you just walk up, it scans, you stop for 5 seconds, and you can keep going instead of they've got to scan, they got to fingerprint, then they got to say, okay, here it is.
I think as long as it works, it'll be a great addition. Because I've been in Epic where they use it, and half the rides, I had to actually scan my ticket for Express Pass. So as
Mhm.
long as this system works like it's supposed to work, I think it's fantastic.
And they
But
do
then
have
you're gonna have people that are like, I don't want my picture taken.
options for that. So they
I said
have
this
a couple of
choice.
entrances on one side of each park where you can go through if you don't want your picture taken and everything. So it still works. But I mean, we've all talked about it before. Park hopping at Disneyland is so much easier than Walt Disney World.
Mhm.
They're just adding, like, I don't have to now pull out my phone to get because they don't have paper tickets anymore out there. I mean, Walt Disney World doesn't either. But you don't have to pull out your phone to scan your ticket. I'm not a Magic Band person when I'm out
So we
there.
did everything by Magic Band, so we were there.
And even then, you don't have to, you're just looking at a camera and walk through. So I'm excited for it. I'm really hoping that we get to experience the way this works in June a little bit more.
Well, speaking of magic bands, I think it's a rumor. I don't know yet. There hasn't been an official word from Disney, but they're supposed to be phasing out magic bands.
So Scott Gustin broke this on Twitter, and he did get confirmation from Disney. They are phasing them out. As of us recording, there was very little stock left in the parks. It's not saying that you can't use them still. Like all the activations that are still there, where for the 70th anniversary stuff, you'll still be able to utilize that stuff. But moving forward, that's going to slowly phase out, where you go back to scanning your phone for your fast passes and stuff like that, which is what, like I said, I did anyway.
I don't like that.
I don't either. I don't like
I
that.
like. I was gonna say I liked when they had where you could use your magic band on both
Yeah.
coasts, like where you could take it with you.
Yeah. Charge it, Magic Band. You know, I don't have
I
to
think
pull
it's
my phone out
convenient.
every time. My
See, I
phone's
keep
already
moving the-
going dead because I'm doing lightning lanes and I'm ordering food and I'm doing this. I'm sorry for the phrasing. They've got you by the balls buying the fuel rods or taking an extra battery pack, because there's no way you can last in any Disney park with one phone all day with no extra charge. Absolutely no way. So to
It's
do
not
more
even-
crap on your phone, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's not even that. I mean, it's that. It's the phone thing. I think that, but you're going to have people that are going to fumble with their phones. Not going to
Yes.
know how to get into the app in front of you. You're going to have older people that may not be savvy with it.
Yeah.
And then they're going to be like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah. Here's my
And then
phone.
they're holding
Same
up the
with you.
line. Magic Band, it's like bam, bam, bam. Key to the World card, bam, bam, bam. None of that.
Their magic key to the world out at Disneyland, that might still
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
Well,
I
I
don't like everything
hope.
being on your phone. Like you said, there's just too many fumbly bumbly. I gotta get it out. I gotta open it. I gotta, go to the app. It's just because one of my pet peeves at Disney World is how to go into the parks, how, there's two things there to tap your bands. How people don't get to the first one. If someone's at the second one, they think they're line breaking by not going to the first one. And so that already backs up the line because, I don't know. And
Oh my
then
God,
they have to
that's
sit
my
there.
biggest pet peeve at the gas station too. When people just pull to the first gas pump instead of all the way through when it's open.
Pull
I'm like,
through.
just pull to the next
Go
one.
to the next one.
Just
Go
pull
to
to the next one.
If the person in front of this person has gone through the thing at Disney World and tapped their band and did their fingerprint, go around them. You're not breaking line. It's okay.
Right.
You can go around them. But then, like you said, then they get the fingerprint. Then it doesn't light up. Then they got to call help. And like the phone thing, I feel like Rachel said, it's.
But here's the thing: we're talking about Disneyland versus Disney World. Disneyland didn't have the fingerprint so much anyway. Like when you were going in, it was very much
It was much easier to get in.
you
You're
took your
correct.
ticket, they scanned it, they took a picture of you, and then as you walk through, they were always making sure that it was you. It wasn't your fingerprint. You also don't have as many attractions on Lightning Lane in Disneyland as you do in Walt Disney World. So if you don't want to utilize Lightning Lane, you don't have to use your phone so much. There's the pros and cons. Like, I love Disneyland more than I love Walt Disney World, just because of the fact that the planning is not there in Disneyland. You don't have to have everything, 60 days ahead, 30 days ahead,
Yes.
7 days ahead. You plan everything. You plan your food 30 days ahead, but you plan your lightning lanes when you get in the park. It's like,
I'm with
okay,
you on that.
here's what we want to do. Let's do it. But you don't have to be on your phone as much in Disneyland as you do in Walt Disney World.
Yeah.
I like that
feel
everyone's on the same playing field.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I feel like there's almost over planning. Like they've tried to make it so convenient and to have all these things laid out when you get there, but you over plan and it's stressful and I got to do this by this date. Got to do this by this date. Da, 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 da. Sometimes it's nice just to go in the park and be look, like you said, we're on a level playing field. No one had to wake up at 5 a.m. to be the first one to get lightning lanes, to hear you go in the park. Now we can book our lightning lanes.
Now, the thing that sucks, though, is the dining, that it's one day at a time. But at the same time, it is still everybody's for dining that day. So it's like.
Listen, I got Blue Bayou for a client. I'm happy.
But yeah, I think Disneyland phasing out magic bands isn't such a big deal as it would be if Walt Disney World said we're phasing out magic bands.
Well, I was talking to Heather today, and Heather mentioned Florida phasing them out.
I don't see Florida doing it as
Quickly,
yeah. Like this is a all of a sudden type thing. Like Disneyland just it was announced, oh, we're phasing them out, and then
I mean, I guess because it's like an afterthought there, whereas it's a forefront thought in World.
It was a $2 billion investment in Walt Disney World to get everything going for magic bands to work. But at the same time, they're trying to get more focused on how the app can be everything. Because now you can open your room with the app. You can open.
I feel like that works half the time.
Right.
Yes,
half the time.
No, I agree.
My friend that just went to Hawaii, they forgot their magic bands, and she said the most annoying thing was having to have the phone every time, like one of her kids wanted to run back to the room to get something. They had to take, one of the parents'
Didn't give
phones.
them a key card?
I don't know, but she said
And
they kept the phones with them all the time. So she was like, she's like, it was just always so much easier when every kid had their magic band. So if they wanted to run back, they could just go tapping. They didn't have any buying power. They couldn't purchase anything, but they had their independence to go move about,
And I think that's the other thing is Magic Band being attached to your credit card or to your room, like at Walt Disney World, it makes it easier for people to purchase
They're
stuff.
going to lose a ton of money.
Yeah.
I'm about to think about it.
Right.
Yeah.
You're just like,
yeah, like
It's not real.
no.
I'm not to pay for this right
$15.
now.
Just tap it down.
You also look though at what DCL just rolled out the Magic Bands a couple of years ago to their ships. So
That's
the
a
Magic
game
Band
changer.
was a big thing of them pushing this out to across the platform. I don't think they're going to get rid of it all the way all over the place. I think Disneyland it just didn't work.
so I
That's
don't
so
need to
nice
pack
on
my
a
magic band when I
cruise.
go to Disneyland.
I'll even say like
Pack it just in
Disneyland.
case.
Remember there was a lot of pushback when this was like we don't necessarily want Magic Band out here because it's not a technical thing. Like we want it to stay a regional thing.
See, you got your band. I got my portable charger. Because me and you are going to be on the phone the whole time.
I think that's all the news we have for today. So we are going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be back after this.
Are you dreaming of your next adventure but overwhelmed by planning? Magical Travel has you covered. With over 22 years in the business, we specialize in Disney destinations, Universal Studios, cruise vacations, and all-inclusive resort getaways. Our services are 100% complimentary when you book a vacation package with one of our knowledgeable agents. Request a free quote to start the planning process at www.magicaltravel.com. Mention our podcast to be connected with one of our agents you are listening to.
Chop, chop, and we're back.
Mm-hmm.
We had this great idea in our text group this week where we decided we want to take on AI. A lot of people you see now will use AI to plan their vacation and aspects. So we all have our own respective AI that we like to use. We're using Rachel, though, as the base. Rachel's going to be the full-on travel agent. She's planning this trip, and she's going to advocate as I'm a real person. Look at me now. Let me
And
dance. I'm a real
the
person.
itinerary that I have is an actual client itinerary that has already since traveled. So it is a tested and trued and loved itinerary.
Here is the prompt that I gave to everybody to create their AI itinerary. And it was help me planning Walt Disney World vacation for December 26th, 2026 through January 2nd, 2027 for 2 adults and 2 kids, 5 girl and a 12-year-old boy. Include place to stay with a breakdown each day of and where to eat. I figured this would be is kind of an ambiguous, so it can give us as much information at random as it could. It also gave us the most busy week that Walt Disney World sees every year. So
Mhm.
it kind of puts that pressure on of what do we know as travel agents versus what does the AI know, what it's pulling, what websites it's pulling from, because that's what AI is doing. It's really just pulling from a bunch of different websites, compiling the information in the best way possible. So Micah used Gemini from Google, Terry used Claude, and I used Grok, and Rachel used her smarts. So already
She used her brain.
she's already at a disadvantage.
Terry, you're muted.
I don't think that's true at all.
Thank you, Terry.
I don't think it's true, but it was there for me to take, and I had to take it. All right, so let's talk about what did AI have to say for the hotel choice and why it might have chose that. Terry, I'll start with you.
Okay, first of all, I had Claude. Claude asked a lot of questions. And since we were trying to leave this as ambiguous as possible, I didn't answer a lot of them. I try to leave it open-ended. So he chose, or she, I don't know what the clinkers are, Art of Animation and a Family Suite is what it chose for us. It did give us 7-day park hopper with Lightning Lane multipass. And it did recommend that we did not get the Disney dining plan. And it gave a long explanation of why not. It's got a whole nice itinerary written up, but it gave you like, this is what you should get. This is what it's valued at. This is a credit. And we don't think you would benefit from using it. However, if you use discounted Disney gift cards, which, like if you're a Target, what's the Target called? My Circle. If you buy this red card, yes. And you can buy this from Target and you get 5% off of the Disney cards there. So it recommends you buy them at discount stores like Target or Costco or somewhere, and then use the Disney cards then to pay for your meals. And it will, according to their algorithm, whatever math they use, it will save you more money in the long run than using the Disney dining plan. None of this is proven fact. I don't know.
A couple of episodes ago, when Diana was on, one of the last things I said was go to Target and buy gift cards for Disney with your red card discount because you could save money in the long run. So point for Jason.
Or if you don't have a red card, get a friend that does and just Venmo them the money
Right.
for it.
Well, because you can get the one that's just the debit card. Like that's what I have. I don't have the credit card one. I have the one that's the debit card. It pulls out of my checking account. Yeah.
All right, Micah, what did Gemini recommend?
So Gemini did not ask any questions. I just put the prompt in. So with the age of the kids, and it said, since we didn't put a budget in, it said, if your budget allows, they recommended Beach Club because of Stormalong Bay. And the proximity to Epcot and Hollywood Studios. So that was the number one. And then this said more like an alternative for value / moderate. It did Art of Animation Family Suites for that, I guess, because of having enough space with a 12-year-old boy and a 5-year-old girl. And also because of the Skyliner, because again, proximity to Hollywood Studios and Epcot. So that's what it had recommended. And it was saying like the mini water park at Stormalong Bay would keep the kids busy for hours and keep them entertained. So that is what Gemini recommended for where to stay.
So I was using Grok, like I said, which is the Elon, the Twitter stuff. But so I will say mine did recommend that you will experience exhaustion, meltdowns, and wallet pain because this is probably the busiest, most expensive time to go.
So Gemini's boring compared to, because like mine literally was like, we recommend these resorts because of it being the busiest time of year, and bus lines could be 60 plus minutes sometimes to get on a bus.
Claude did also warn me that this is the busiest time and I might want to reconsider my dates.
I will speak to all of us and say that if you had called us and said, we want to do this week, the first thing out of all of our mouths would be, you're insane because this is the most busy time of the year to go.
That's not what I told my client that actually traveled on this. So I'll let you know what our conversation was.
Okay. Well, I usually give them the warning that it's pretty busy.
Yeah, I mean, like it's a good expectation to set. Like it's going to be a busy time. Expect the parks to be busy.
So Grok did recommend Art of Animation just the same way. No one else did. Sorry, never mind. So I did Art of Animation because of the theming and everything like that.
Are you saying the family suites or just Art of Animation in general?
The family suites because of the room. It said, this is the sweet spot for your mix. Immersive theming, Finding Nemo, Cars, Lion King, Little Mermaid, that blows your kid's mind. The 5-year-old will lose her mind over the giant sculptures and pools.
5-year-old's going to lose her shit anyway at some point. It's just to happen.
Very true,
Mine,
Terry. Very true.
mine did recommend, like, ask why not others. So I'll say this. It said Pop Century is similar, but less wow for the little ones. Caribbean Beach has a Skyliner just like the other two, but fewer family-friendly suites. And then the deluxe, like Contemporary Polynesian, would be nicer, monorail fireworks views, but way pricier during peak and less kid explosion theming. I think those are pretty valid, but at the same time, like, I would still do Pop Century myself over Art of Animation just because it's going to be a little bit cheaper and we don't have to have all that Art of Animation. So, travel agent Rachel, what was your recommendation to your clients?
So my client had these dates. It was the grandparents. So it was 3 rooms, technically. Grandparents, they paid for everything. And then they have 2 kids. So it's their 2 families as well. So it was 10 people total. The dates were non-negotiable. That's when everyone could go. So they went December 27th to January 1st. They went home the 1st. So like I asked qualifying questions, kind of like I guess AI would.
Mm-hmm.
The accommodations had to have separate rooms. So we had to go with a villa property because that's what he wanted. He wanted to have a separate room for the kids, separate room, for the adults, more than one bathroom. So we ended up booking 2 2-bedroom villas and then 1 1-bedroom villa at the Riviera Resort. The reason I picked the Riviera Resort was because his concern was getting close and or connecting rooms. I explained that none of the villas will connect. They only connect to deluxe studios, but there's only 300 rooms total in that whole resort. So you have a better odd of getting the same hallway. I also explained the Skyliner constantly moves, busy time. You don't have to wait for buses. So that was also a selling feature. And then they also dined at Topolino's twice.
Ooh,
Once
good
for
job.
breakfast. Yeah. So them having that as a home base for what they wanted with the, the accommodations of having a villa versus what they were going to be doing. That was why I personally suggest the Riviera Resort. I could have went to another villa resort, beach club, boardwalk, could have done, Contemporary Bay Lake, but it was really the fact that there's only 300 rooms at the Riviera. That's why I recommended that.
So you kind of inadvertently talked about how crowded it was with him by saying this is
Yeah, no, I flat out, he
And-
knew. I said, you're going the busiest time. Like I had a plan in place and then I had plan B in place for him if we couldn't get plan A to work. That's the type of client that he was. And I have to say, as intimidating as it was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he was a fun client to work with and so super chill, rolled with the punches. But the fact that I was able to get what he wanted, he loved it, by the
I
way.
feel like Riviera is good for like grandparents to book because it's not like unkid friendly at all. But I feel like grandparents will feel like,
It feels
wow,
higher
I'm
end.
spending this
Yeah.
money.
Yes.
I see what I'm spending my money
Right.
on. Well,
Yeah,
not
it's
that
very
Art of
classic.
Animation is not, but like they'll feel more bougie,
Welcome.
not
Yeah.
kiddie there. And like
Right.
you said, it's got all the amenities of like,
It's got a
They
great
wanted a
coffee
slide.
shop. Yeah, the great
Yes,
coffee
they
shop.
wanted a slide for the pool. They wanted
Mhm.
to make sure kids were going to have fun at the pool. I said, absolutely. So
Okay.
I think that's a good idea.
idea.
So let's run down the itinerary that they have. Now, I don't want to go fully in depth on all this because I know what I ran on ChatGPT, Gemini, and Grok just to see what this would be possible if we'd get different answers. It did get pretty in depth on some things.
Mm-hmm.
So what I really want to talk about is kind of like a highlight. Like what was your day one?
Like your arrival day.
And and then what you agreed with, or if there was something you didn't agree with. So for my day one, it was just a arrival and a resort chill day. I'm pretty sure y'all probably all get the same like that. And it said your dinner should just be like landscape of flavors. Make it super simple, relax around from the travel, all that stuff. So Terry's shaking her head. Terry,
No,
what did
mine did
yours?
not say that.
What did
Mine,
you say?
mine it said check in mobile from MCO, how to get to your resort from MCO. And then it had us going to Homecoming Florida Kitchen at Disney Springs and a
Homecoming's
whole
good.
Yes.
why we chose it because it should be off property with dining vibes with no park stress. And then it went into like why the chef is good with the menu for kids and adults. I mean, over information almost. Your must tries there, and then it tells you how to get there from the Skyliner from AOA. You go to Disney Springs, transfer at Caribbean Beach. It tells you to walk the Springs, the World of Disney store, browse, a soft start to the trip.
Wait, so it
Then
told
it
you to
tells you
take,
to stroll back through Disney's. I mean, when I'm saying it's like go to Gideon's to get some cookies, it's like almost like it's
but
a
yeah,
nature night for you.
the thing that I don't like there is that it says take the Skyliner to Caribbean Beach to go to Disney Springs. Just hop on the bus at Art of
Yeah.
Animation, because you're going to a bigger resort where the buses are going to be during that week be
Or you have
completely
the
full.
inner loop just of
See?
Caribbean Beach.
This is why you need a human. But it also has like a pro tip, like pack a first night bag and your carry-on with swimsuits, toiletries, so you can get ready for dinner and you can go to the pool before you get ready for dinner if all your luggage, blah, blah, blah. But like you just pointed out, it didn't give you the best transportation advice, and it almost, while it does give you step by step, if you're the type of person that loves that, it almost gives you so much information. That's just the first day.
Too
Like
much.
that's like a half day, and you're almost over information
Right. What's
in
up?
your head.
The fact that it told you to get a 7-day ticket to begin with,
Mhm.
Yeah,
you're obviously not going in the park
That's-
that day.
exactly
Right.
what I told. Yeah, I caught
Yeah.
that, and I didn't change it because I caught it, but I didn't change it because I'm a human
That's-
and it's AI, and I'm not going to do its
Right.
job for it.
So I will say that mine did recommend a 5 to 6 day park hopper. But Micah, what did yours tell you for day one?
So let's just say Gemini is I feel like very basic because it did not go into that much detail. It just says arrival in Disney Springs, settle into your hotel, but avoid the parks on arrival day to save your sanity from the post-Christmas crowd. They suggested going to Disney Springs to do the Christmas tree stroll, and then gives you 2 options for dinner. One was T-Rex Cafe for the kids because it's loud and exciting and the kids enjoy it. And then the second one was actually Boathouse, great food for the adults, but also the fun the amphicars so that the kids could watch those if they were there. So that was all it suggested. I don't think it suggested what tickets to get. No, it never suggested how many tickets to get on mine. I didn't ask that question and it did not put it in here.
Rachel. Rachel.
So, I mean, obviously, it's what I built.
Right.
They arrived at around the same time because they were coming from different airports at MCO. They got private transportation from MCO to the Riviera. They landed around 2:45. You're gonna laugh at me where they ate dinner the first night.
Chef Mickey.
Victoria
Tickets.
Alberts.
Flying Fish.
No, take Flying Fish. I got them a 7:00 dining reservation at Flying Fish. They can take the Skyliner right from the Riviera over to the boardwalk area. The boardwalk area at night is amazing.
Beautiful.
So
So
they had a 7:00 Flying Fish reservation. At the night, I said enjoy the boardwalk area, movies under the stars, do a night swim, kind of relax into your first evening at the resort.
Mhm.
That is what they did.
All right.
Yes.
So
Great advice. Great
yes,
advice.
I like that. Let's keep it short. We gotta go through a few days. Day 2, I'll just continue. We'll keep this loop that we have. Day 2, they have Brock has us go into Magic Kingdom, rope dropping it. The big thing they said is to do the Main Street lights, tree, fireworks, and eat breakfast at the resort. Quick service at Pecos Bills or Columbia Harbor House. Dinner be our guest if you score a res. Said the Beauty and Beast theme is pricey but worth it for a 5-year-old. But then do quick service. It did recommend to do a nap mid-afternoon via Skyliner, which obviously you cannot do a
You
Skyliner.
get a nap on the sky.
He's gonna let you
Get
loop
out of
through.
here.
You can't go to Magic Kingdom to
Yeah.
the Skyliner with Art of Animation. So I'm not too disappointed in this. There's, knowing that it's a busy week at Christmas, doing what you can do is going to be hard. I wouldn't do Beauty or Be Our Guest. It's just not one of my favorite restaurants. But Terry,
Be our guest.
it's beautiful at Christmas. I will say that. I like going in there for Christmas, since they have the Christmas tree in there and everything, but it's just not one of my favorite. I would probably pick something else, maybe like Jungle Skipper Canteen.
Canteen.
Yeah.
The highlight of the room, Siobhan, that's for you. Keep that in. Highlight of the room.
It
I've never
continues
actually-
the humor from the Jungle Cruise.
Yep.
Yeah, I just figured that eating there is going to be a little bit more fun. than
Eccentric?
going- Well, yeah, because
Well,
it's
for
not.
you.
Well, yes, but
They have
it's more
chicken tendies.
fun. It's like fun and laughing and whatnot versus uptight at Be Our Guest. Terry, what was your day 2?
Day 2, I'm going to go through this real quick. Again, it started pre-dawn, 6:30
Yeah, we
a.m.
don't need
with-
all of that.
Yeah,
No
where to
way.
eat,
Take a shower.
when to catch the buses, get there by rope drop. It gives you priority order, Seven Dwarfs, Peter Pan, then Big Thunder Mountain Road. Hit those before 10 a.m. Then it gets your lightning lane targets, your multi-pass, your single, your standby, and it puts all of those in order. Lunch at Cosmic Rays, and then 2 paragraphs of why.
Whoa.
And then, why? Did you ask why? Why they said why?
No, I said whoa.
Yeah.
I don't
Then
need
afternoon, Festival of Fantasy at 3, continue
Which
Lightning
does-
Lane bookings.
Also, Fantasy does not run during this week, so
And so,
it's the
See,
Christmas-
another reason why AI
Yeah.
cannot replace a travel advisor.
It's
Is
the
this one of
Christmas
those
part.
things where it's just pretending it knows what it's talking about, so it just puts a lot of words there?
Well, what it's doing is it's pulling the current information of
Yeah.
what the park, because the parade for Christmas isn't out yet, so they're just pulling the 3:00 parade, but it's the holiday parade.
at 4 o'clock to take a resort break, back for a 90-minute pool reset, then come back out of here. Yeah.
Sorry, no one's going back to the resort for a 90-minute pool
90 minutes.
reset.
You're going to spend 90 minutes on the bus round trip.
Right. You're going to spend 2.5 hours trying to get there and back.
And once again, this is the most busy time of the year where
Yes.
it's
You're going out where the most people, Art of Animation, Then Liberty Tree Tavern, and then it tells you why they chose it, because of the traditional meal at Christmas time, and then your must tries there. Then your happily ever after fireworks. Get to your spot 30 minutes early. Leave
Once
5
again-
minutes before the show ends. I
What?
mean,
once
Yeah,
again,
leave it-
happily ever after fireworks aren't happening either because they're doing the Christmas fireworks during that time.
so this is but it even tells you at the bottom, if you don't get Liberty Tree Tavern, how to keep trying, set alerts, because 80% of guests get their preferred reservation through cancellation watching and not their initial booking window.
Okay, I will say this about from what I'm hearing about Claude right now is that it's very much pulling the information that it's currently having for the parks.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Grok, and I don't know about Gemini right now, Grok does put in the holiday version of the daytime parade. It doesn't say the name, but it does say like Minnie's Wonderful Christmas Fireworks. All right, Micah,
Sorry,
what's your
Jason. All right. So again, Gemini is way shorter than Claude. Day 2 also for us, the 27th Magic Kingdom. It literally, I can read this little blurb and it's like probably an eighth of what Terry's is. It's just like focus on Fantasyland for the 5-year-old, like Enchanted Tales with Belle, and the mountains for the 12-year-old, Space, Big Thunder, and Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. And then it says lunch at the Crystal Palace or have dinner at Be Our Guest. And that's literally like, it doesn't say do quick service. It doesn't say do a parade. That's what it gives me for the day.
It's a loose outline.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like it's up
kinda
for
like that.
interpretation.
kind of
Yeah.
like that because it's like here's what you should do, but
For your
Mhm.
high points.
Yeah.
Everything else
Like
is
it's going to
filler.
be busy. So like if you're going to be here this day, like focus on Fantasyland for the 5-year-old, focus on these things for the older kid kind of thing. Yeah.
Rachel, what was your recommendations?
So they did their first day as Magic Kingdom. They had breakfast at the Riviera Resort in the quick serve location down below by the pool. They had a VIP tour guide that day.
Okay,
Ooh,
so
I think
whatever
that
you
is
wanted
a
to do, they can do.
fantastic.
especially this
recommendation.
busy.
I-
If you're going to spring for it, now's the time.
So they started at 10. They met I told them, because with the VIP tour, you can meet at the hotel. You can meet pretty much anywhere you want to. I told them to meet them in the park,
Mm-hmm.
which I personally have only done once. Usually I get picked up. So I told them, meet them at the park. You meet at the park. They had VIP seating for the parade with that. So they got to do the parade. They had dinner at Tony's Town Square because of the kids. Figured, some pasta, some chicken nuggets,
So it's always
chicken
easy.
parmesan. And then they stayed for the fireworks that night. So they had a full MK day with a VIP tour guide until 5 o'clock. And then they were on their own for the evening.
I'll say this: that VIP was not recommended at all with Grok.
No,
Mine-
not at all.
Not ChatGPT. Gemini said it recommended if in your budget to look at VIP tours or the premium pass.
Mine did recommend Lightning Lane, not the premium pass, just Lightning Lane.
Mine recommended Premier Pass for
Premier
what
pass,
you,
that's what it's called.
if you wanted to do. It said if you want to do this, then get Premier Pass.
So VIP was my A game.
Mhm.
Plan B was Premier Pass.
Mhm.
So going to day 3, once again, let's try to not do the Claude version of 20 paragraphs.
I'll keep it short for day 3. Go ahead, you're first.
Brock has me going to Hollywood Studios. I mean, and the reason they said here is because it's balanced thrills plus cute stuff. Skyliner Direct. They recommended, of course, breakfast at the resort, lunch at Woody's Roundup, dinner at Sci-Fi, or quick service being backlot. Once again, I'm not a big fan of Woody's. I think that's a little bit.
I love Woody's. You and I
think
can't
it's
go eat
great.
together.
I like the restaurant. I like the food. I just think that it's a lot of loudness for a lunch. Like if I need to be woken up, I need to be woken up at dinner. So I'd rather go there at that time. I'm not horrible on this one. You know, I would do Hollywood Studios day 2. So Terry?
Mine recommends Animal Kingdom day 2, and I'm like you. I'm a Hollywood Studios day 2 kind of person because I put them in order of how my kids love the parks. But my oldest loves Hollywood Studios more now, but still, I have to go to Magic Kingdom the first day because you have to go down Main Street. You have to feel like you're Disney World. But this is Animal Kingdom, lunch at breakfast at Art of Animation. It does tell you to go to Flight of Passage first because that gets the longest line. And then it tells you to go ahead and hit up Navi River while you're there.
Mhm.
I don't know if I would waste time with Navi River if there's a wait.
Right. If there's a wait.
If there's
There
a
will be
30-minute
wait.
or less wait, maybe. But if there's any kind of wait, I would go do more fun stuff first. Then it tells you where to eat lunch. Then it tells you in the afternoon to go to the Festival of Lion King because it's air conditioned. And then Gorilla Falls walking trails. And then it does tell you to circle back to Pandora when it gets dark. Since you're going that time of year because it's pretty lit up at night.
It's very pretty at night.
But then it tells me since it closes early to hop on a bus and go to Epcot to Via Napoli to eat dinner. And then stroll the World Showcase and catch the Luminous at Epcot after my Animal Kingdom day, which
That's weird. Like to park hop during this time. Like it does. Like I know it recommended in mine to do park hopping, but it's just I wouldn't park hop to Epcot at night during this week.
Well, like I said, I didn't tell it anything to park hop. I didn't give it any suggestions. So I thought that was interesting that it told you to go there.
All right, Micah, what's your day 3?
So day 3 is Epcot. It said to use the International Festival of the Holidays, especially for the 5-year-old with Olaf's Holiday Traditional Expedition Scavenger Hunt to keep that one busy. And the 12-year-old would love Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. And then it suggests eating lunch at Regal Eagle and then doing dinner at Space 220 because it should be a hit for the 12-year-old boy.
I agree with Regal Eagle.
So
Love Regal
again,
Eagle.
that is Gemini's short and sweet. Like I really didn't take out many of the words in that. Short and sweet and to the point.
Epcot and Muppets. You got me.
Yeah.
Or Rachel, what did you recommend to your clients?
They did Hollywood Studios that day. They started with the same breakfast at the Riviera. They had a second day of VIP tours. They had a fantastic time. They did a 9:30 to 4:30 at Hollywood Studios. Dinner was, they also met in Hollywood Studios. Next day, I did not do that. But they met at Hollywood Studios. Then they did Sci-Fi drive-in, dine-in, theater for dinner because of the kids. They had 4 kids. Then after dinner, 2 of them did Sabi's workshop and built lightsabers. And then they also, after that, they had reservations at Olga's Cantina.
I would Sci-Fi. That was also a recommendation on Grok. I like that one better than Woody's Roundup or any other ones because it's a little bit more interactive. Like while you're not sitting directly with your family, like it has a different experience to it. There's a little bit more.
I just wish Sci-Fi would change the movies.
Yeah.
I wish they would do Disney movies and not black and white. Yeah, but it's like some of it's scary.
Day 4 for me is a rest day, which I think's kind of it's a good time, but I don't like rest days. That's just me. It tells you to sleep in, pool day, do Skyliner, and it actually sleep in, massive resort, pool time, slides, splash areas. Kids will thank you. Or Skyliner to Epcot for half day Festival of the Holidays. So it's like, which one do you want me to do? Do you want me to go rest, or do you want me to go to Epcot?
He's giving you the option.
Yeah, and I kind of like that of like, hey, hop into Epcot and do the festival, so you're not doing
Make it
full
a
thing.
half day. Do a
But
half day.
at the same time, like I just said, I don't know if I would park hop into Epcot at the end of the day during this week because it just gets so busy.
Right.
Restaurants that recommended was Earl's Sandwich, which I'm 100% on board.
Do you like Earl of Sandwich?
And then Rainforest Cafe, which is I'm 100% against because you can eat at Rainforest Cafe anywhere in the United States. T-Rex is the same restaurant, but go to T-Rex over Rainforest.
Hate T-Rex.
I've never eaten there, but like I said, you can't eat at T-Rex anywhere in the U.S., but you can eat at Rainforest Cafe in 2 places in Walt Disney World.
I was going to say 2 places in Disney World alone.
You can do it anywhere in the world. That's always something I say to my clients. Yeah. So Terry, what's your day 4?
Day 4 is Epcot Day. It tells you to wake up at 7 to get in the virtual queue for Cosmic Rewind.
Which isn't a thing anymore.
Which is not a thing. It does tell you that if you're not going to do that, to go ahead and pay the $25 plus for the single lightning lane. Rope drop it, and it tells you how to get there from Art of Animation by Skyliner. It gives you priority Test Track, Frozen Ever After, Soarin', and Cosmic Rewind. I don't know if I would go in that order. But what I did like about this one is that it tells you to the Festival of Holiday storytellers at every country, Hanukkah at the Israel exhibit, Diwali, Las Posadas at Mexico, Pierre Noel at France. So it does tell you that if you're going to go around,
it tells you to go to a non-existent land to hear the storytellers. There's not an Israel.
It's an exhibit.
They have a Hanukkah
exhibit, not.
But they don't even have he doesn't have a storyteller there though.
I don't think it has storyteller, but I know there's a Hanukkah booth.
I don't know there's a storyteller there.
Yeah, I know they have a Hanukkah pop up for food, but not the storytellers are in the
I
land.
thought that was interesting because they do not know what religion or what culture they are serving when I'm putting the prompt in. So I think it is kind of they're trying to put something out there for everyone. It does tell me to have a sit down lunch. It says sit down lunch, but then it says in the World of Showcase Festival booths. So,
that can be.
I don't consider that a
not a sit down. Yeah, you're sitting down to eat, but you're not sitting inside somewhere.
And then it lists different holiday stuff. But then it tells me to go. This is where it comes in. It tells me to go Mexico, Norway, China that way.
That's the correct way to do it. That's the first thing Claude has gotten right. All right, Micah, what's yours?
Okay, so day 4 is Hollywood Studios, and it has in parentheses Star Wars and toys. Head straight to Galaxy's Edge, even if they aren't huge fans, because Rise of the Resistance gets a long line, so rope drop that. And then it says make sure to do Toy Story Land for the 5-year-old because that's a big hit for that age group. Have lunch at Woody's Lunchbox, again in parentheses, tachos. And then for dinner, Sci-Fi Dine-In. And that they think that would be a good break from the crowds and that it should be a hit with the kids.
See, sci-fi is popular for a lot of people.
It is.
Rachel, what'd you recommend on your?
They had an Animal Kingdom day. They did a split day. They had park hoppers. They had a 3-day hopper. So on their 3rd park day, they started at Animal Kingdom. They got picked up at the resort, and then they went to Animal Kingdom. They ended in Epcot. I thought that was a good day. 2 parks to split. I thought it was a good split. They had dinner at the Annapolis. They thought pizza was great for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And then they stayed at Epcot and they did the nighttime. What is it? Luminous?
Yeah, Luminous.
So they did that. But yeah, no, they had a busy day that day. They did a split between Animal Kingdom first and then Epcot. That's why I had them get picked up at the resort.
Yes.
Because that's a better transportation. Because with that, you get whisked into the back of Pandora.
Ooh.
So,
which we wouldn't know without a human.
Right. Yeah. That is how you get in. If you have a VIP tour and you want to do Flights of Passage, you will come in through the back lot right by the bathrooms in Pandora. That is how you get in right there. So
that's awesome.
Always,
that's cool.
If you have a VIP tour guide, always get picked up for Animal Kingdom.
So my day 5, they have suggested Epcot, Grok has. So the morning they wanted Future World, Test Track, Soarin', both kids friendly. Guardians of the Galaxy, this is the only reason I'm saying all 3 of these. It says 12-year-old coaster, but make sure about the height. height check. So that's the first time I've seen that on mine. It does tell you in the afternoon to do the holiday kitchens and candlelight processional if timing works. The food is the same thing, Regal Eagle or festival booths, which I think that's exactly what me and Beth do, because I eat Regal Eagle as we talked about multiple times. I'm a very picky eater. Bethany eats the booths, and then dinner is Via Napoli or Le Cellier. So I think that's actually fairly good. I'm liking what Brock has put out. It's not giving me a lot of misinformation, but it's not being completely like, here's what you need to do. So Terry,
Claude says our next day is a rest day, and can I just say under it says the most important day of the trip. Skip it, and the back half falls apart. But
I will say that when my rest day, it said spicy truth mandatory. No one wants two cranky kids on New Year's week.
Yeah.
So
apparently AI thinks we're all cranky. Again, sleep in early afternoon Skyliner to Disney Springs. It suggests you get lunch at Deluxe Burger at 1. And then this is what I did not agree with, the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique at 2.
Which
But
is
I'm
close.
like, but even if it's not closed, why are you going to do Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique and not be a Magic Kingdom? I just feel like the princess wants to be where the princesses are.
Which is why I think they haven't reopened Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique.
Yeah, like if you're going to get all dolled up, why are you talking about Disney Springs?
They need to open up the one back at the Grand Floridian.
Yeah, that one
Yeah.
makes sense. But Disney Springs just never made sense to me since it's a trek to get to Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, like you don't want to be a prince. It says this says because you get all these pretty pictures and everything like that. I was like, well, that's
Carrie,
great.
you
But
can get it at the GF and you go to 1900 Park Fair.
yeah,
What I was going to
and
say
your
was,
kid feels like she's among princesses and not just walking like a strip mall.
yeah, here
you
you go. You're dressed as a princess. Let's get a picture of you in front of this T-Rex skeleton or this Lego
Or
dragon.
some Legos.
The
Yeah.
Lululemon store. What are you talking about?
Yeah. So I didn't get that. Then it tells you to go bowling in the late afternoon or go to Cirque
This
du
doesn't
Soleil.
sound like a rest day.
I'm
Bowling-
That
not
sounds
interested-
like, yeah.
I would do
I'm not
bowling.
interested in bowling or Cirque du Soleil when I'm at Disney World. If that's what you want to do in your rest day, that's cool. It does tell me to eat at T-Rex Cafe. Again, I hate T-Rex only because we had the worst service we've ever had there. Like we were literally putting dishes on the floor because they kept bringing stuff, and our table had literally no more room. We had to put like dishes on the ground
Wow.
to fit more dishes on the table.
I've never had to do that at a restaurant.
The only one I've ever had. I think it was so stark because it was on Disney property, and usually they're really great about service.
Yeah.
So I think that's what made it stick out in my mind so much. So it wasn't the food so much as the service that sucked. It does tell you though that snow flurries on the Christmas tree trail, so you should try that out. But other than that, I kind of found this one not a great rest day.
What
That
I'm
does not
seeing
sound like a rest day.
from the Chat GPT stuff or the AI stuff is that these restaurants they're being, like I said, they're pulling all this information from all these websites of who's written what, or even what podcast has said what. So T-Rex is a highly recommended for families to go to.
The
Chat-
concept is great.
Yeah, AI is always going to recommend whatever has the best reviews, best ratings, what everybody's talking about. You're not going to hear the horror stories that you have when, like Terry just explained, when you're doing ChatGPT. Why do I not eat at Rainforest Cafe? Like I just said, you can eat it anywhere in the world. Why am I going to waste my time in Magic Kingdom and Disney World doing something I can do in Gatlinburg? So that's where you're getting from us when you're getting these food reviews. That's why we're kind of saying them when they're on the way. So
Because I feel like
Michael,
Sci-Fi, T-Rex, and Via Napoli have come up more than
A
3
lot.
or 4 times between all of us except for Rachel.
yeah.
Well,
No, I
her
need
people
sci-fi.
went to Via Napoli and sci-fi.
And
yeah.
Via Napoli.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And Regal Eagle. Micah, what was yours?
So day 5, they had Animal Kingdom, and it says, see the Merry Menagerie, the life-size winter puppets. Like, that definitely take time to see them. Ride Avatar Flight of Passage for the 12-year-old and Kilimanjaro Safari for the 5-year-old. Have lunch at Satuli Canteen, in parentheses, the best quick service food in Disney. That's what it says. And then dinner, Tusker House, character dining with Mickey and friends and safari outfits. The 5-year-old will love it. And that's what it gives me for day 5.
Rachel.
It was a rest day. Since we're staying at Riviera, we did, they wanted one character meal. We did Topolino's for breakfast.
delicious.
You just walk
Which is
right
great.
upstairs.
Great
My
restaurant.
favorite breakfast.
Fantastic. Yeah. Can't beat it.
There was just a pool day. I don't know if they used their mini golf vouchers, but I told them about it. And then they went up because this was New Year's Eve.
Mhm.
They ended up I told them not to go to a park on New Year's Eve. Just because, Epcot is super packed. And then same with like Magic Kingdom for the fireworks. So they did Topolino's Terrace for dinner. That was their fancy dinner. And then they want to do a parents' night out. I don't know. I gave them information on the dance hall for the parents. Give them some information about, other stuff like city walks and stuff. There's some other clubs. So I did give them stuff outside of Disney to do, but there was just a full-on rest day with 2 sit-down dinings.
It's a great
So
rest day.
Rachel's is a little bit different from ours. So hers New Year's Eve was the day before ours. The rest
Right,
of us.
because hers is last year, so everything shifted. Yeah.
So for us, it's day 6, which is now New Year's Eve, December 31st. For me, this is fully disagree with this one. I don't know where.
I thought you were going to say you disagree with me.
No, I agreed with you 100%.
That was a good rest day. No, you did a great rest day.
Especially the point of no theme parks. But this one's weird because they've recommended that you go to Animal Kingdom on this day. Naturally do some of these rides. I'm going to be a little bit more in depth on this one because it says evening. Back to resort or MK for New Year's Eve fireworks parties. Expect massive crowds. Watch from resort if possible or hit a lower key spot. New Year's celebrations are resort wide. And then it gave the restaurants Satuli for lunch and dinner at Yak and Yeti or a resort New Year's Eve option. Here's my problem with this. If you've ever been to Walt Disney World on New Year's Eve, you are not getting into Magic Kingdom. You're not parking hopping into Magic Kingdom at all. It closes usually within 2 hours of it opening. It is packed to the day all day. People start sitting for the fireworks right after the parade at 3:00. It's madhouse.
You're right there.
He's getting emotional over this.
So I would either start my day in Magic Kingdom altogether, or just
And
avoid,
stay there.
or even park hop to Epcot where it'd be easier to get into, but you're not
You know what?
sitting around the
You s-
lagoon.
You still need to get into Epcot earlier because they have dance parties in
Right.
the
And for
Different
the-
countries around the World Showcase. Yeah.
And as they're celebrating the New Year's in those countries, if it corresponds with them being opened in the park, they'll do something in the area. The other thing that this doesn't mention is that they do 2 fireworks shows, both on the 30th and 1st, because they want to make sure that if you have small kids, you can get them back to the house or back to the resort without sleeping or without that late night thing. So they do an early one and then they do the actual midnight one. But yeah, and then if you're wanting to do the resorts, it says go to a resort and watch. You have to be a guest of Polynesian and Grand Floridian to get to the beach and watch.
They
those
give you
fireworks.
wristbands.
So that's not an option. Like you'd have to go eat Topolino's, Ohana, something like that, so you could see the fireworks. You still would not be able to get on the beach to watch them because you're not staying at that resort. So that's my problem with Grok on this one. I would have started in Magic Kingdom and stayed there all day, or at least hopped over to Epcot instead. So Terry,
You're going to hate mine because mine it starts off at Hollywood Studios, which I'll go back to, but it park hops to Magic Kingdom
You ain't getting in.
at 8 p.m.
You're not getting in.
that is like
The
impossible.
worst time. Yeah.
So we start off at Hollywood Studios and it says big day, pace yourselves. We take the Skyliner, Slinky Dog Dash first, Mickey Minnie, blah, 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 all that stuff. Does say do Rise of the Resistance. It's worth paying for. This one says it's the best ride in all of Walt Disney World, 4 parks. So then we're going to have the docking bay for lunch. Nothing special there. It does tell me, which I thought was weird. This does not have me going anywhere but really Galaxy's Edge and Mickey and Minnie. It
That is-
doesn't. And Slinky Dog Dash it mentions, but nothing else in Toy Story Land. And it says, oh, if you want to catch a stage show, there's Indiana Jones or Beauty and the Beast. And it also mentions Disney Junior, but that's not really there anymore.
That's why I
It
went.
does tell me to go to Sci-Fi again. And then its fun thing to do is to go make a droid or a lightsaber, and one's 100. Where's my thing? One's 120 and the other is 250. And I was like, there's more to do at Hollywood Studios, I feel like, than those 2 things. But then it has me go over to Magic Kingdom at 8 p.m. Or if I want to catch the early fireworks, like Jason just said, I go over at 6:30. And it says to make sure I pack a stroller for the 5-year-old to go to sleep in.
You're going to have a stroller the whole time anyway for a
Yeah.
5-year-old.
Yeah. But like I said, that one was a big miss in my point, in my thought.
It's almost like, what did you do?
Claude.
It's almost like it doesn't know how to do 2 days at the same park.
No. Or like it just assumes everything's always available.
Yeah.
You know, like everything's always open. You just go and come as you please. Like there's no capacity. There's no crowds.
They used to
Nothing
do
like that.
a New Year's Eve at Hollywood Studios, and I would have said, okay, I can get that if they were still doing it. I don't think they've done it in a few years though. So it's just a no. Like that's
It does mention that Art of Animation has a New Year's Eve celebration on the pool deck.
well they
Well,
all do.
yeah, they usually
all-
do.
Yeah,
I
they
can't
all
confirm
will.
or deny that, but I don't think it's anything like the fireworks.
No, it's not a big fireworks show or
Yeah.
anything like that. But they do something so if you want to keep it low key, you can do that and be right there.
Okay, so day 6, it does put on here New Year's Eve strategy. Warning, the parks will hit capacity. Pick one and stay there. That's what it tells you.
That's
And then
smart.
Yes.
Yes.
It says strategy. Magic Kingdom and Epcot have fireworks, but massive fireworks, but Hollywood Studios is often slightly less chaotic. So it's recommending you go to Hollywood Studios this day. And then dining, it says eat at Rodeo Roundup because it's high energy, family style, and you won't have to fight for a table amidst the chaos if you have a dining reservation.
So, because it's New Year's, I just want to let you know, I did send a package to the resort for my clients, and it had 2026 glasses, hats, necklaces. I
That's
got blowers. I did light or glow sticks for the kids.
Mhm.
And they sent me a picture of them at Topolino's that night with all their party gear on.
Oh,
So,
that's nice.
yeah. So if you are going through New Year's and you have kids, pack something or ship something. I thought that was a fun extra that they were able to have.
Okay, so the last day is for me day 7, January 1. One of them I did see. It's not on mine, but it did say, hey, this is going to be a good early morning day to start because it's low crowds.
Because people are tired from being up late
yeah.
the night before.
So I was like,
We're hungover.
Yeah.
we're hungry. So I like that it did include that little bit because that is something, you got to remember. A lot of people stayed up all late last night. So when you get up earlier, that's something I do recommend. So this one was Magic Kingdom round 2 for me. Focus on the mist stuff. Just relax, take it easy. For lunch, it was Liberty Tree. For dinner, Crystal Palace. And then they just said that the vibe was to wind down and repeat the favorites, just kind of close out the trip with a high note type things.
Would you personally do 2 sit downs
For
on a
that,
park day?
no.
Okay.
Like I have, we did deluxe dining
course,
a few
yeah.
times, but that with Travis, now that we have a kid, I would not do two sit downs unless it was like breakfast and a sit down at dinner, like
The
an
early breakfast and a late dinner kind of
Well,
thing.
that's what I did on the rest day. But for a
Mhm.
park day, having 2 dinings, 2 sit downs, that's time
Like,
consuming.
Taking
No,
up a
if it
lot of
was-
time.
I would do like an Animal Kingdom, like if I was a breakfast at Tusker and then a dinner like at
Yeah.
1900 or something like that where it was closed, I'd do something like that, but not necessarily,
That's fair.
So Terry, what was Claude's long-winded answer?
Claude's, he's got so many words. New Year's Day, again, it's kind of like yours, honestly, a little bit. Get a late start, go eat breakfast at Art of Animation, then go back to Magic Kingdom. And it literally says this is a victory lap, not a sprint. Hit anything you might have missed, like the Carousel of Progress, Hall of Presidents, Country Bear musical.
Things that
Not
you
there.
probably could have gotten
It is
into
there.
that week.
Tom Sawyer Island, if you want to hit that up.
It's still there.
We're not there anymore.
And then that's how to eat lunch at the Skipper Canteen, Skipper Canteen. And the afternoon, do your final souvenir browse. Get all your
Were they-
pictures.
The
Because
Emporium.
Claude included your memory maker, whether you wanted it or not. Go back to Art of Animation for your break. Then go back to Ohana for dinner. So,
I could see that. Like eating Ohana at the end of the day, like you don't want to necessarily be in the park before you travel
Yeah.
home.
that's always our last dinner. But we do go back in to see the fireworks for the last time. But we don't do like a whole.
I would be
shebang.
fine even if you can get a reservation at Ohana during the fireworks because they turn everything down and you can watch them. I think that's pretty decent little plan for the last day. Micah?
All right. So my last day, it says relax and recap. Sleep in, use the day for the hotel, pool, or revisit one park where you missed a favorite ride. It's suggesting for lunch, if you're doing a rest day, to do Chef Mickey's because it's the essential Disney character meal. And for dinner to do Ohana because they have great noodles and meat skewers, plus a great view of Seven Seas Lagoon. And then it gives you some pro tips talking about Lightning Lane Premier Pass. If it's in the budget, it will save you 4 to 6 hours of standing in line per day. And then it goes into kind of asking questions like a midday break, like going into the parks for rope drop, leave around 1, take a swim or a nap, and return around 6 is what it says. And then it has dining reservations. You must, in all capital letters, book these exactly 60 days in advance at 6 a.m. for a Christmas week trip. They will disappear within minutes. Like it's kind of telling you, you have to be on top of this. And then it says, how do you feel about the midday break? Like asking the questions now, like mine kind of got into the questions at the end, but I can't say I disagree with that last day. Like if you've been going that hard all week, that last day to rest and maybe get that dinner in, or if you go into a park for a little bit of time because you did miss a favorite ride, I don't think that's a bad choice.
I will say, just thinking back on what I said about Animal Kingdom, this would be the day I do Animal Kingdom. I would start there and do what I wanted to do, and then park hop over to Magic Kingdom later in the afternoon. Just that's the way we did it every time we've gone during this week. We've always gone Animal Kingdom on the first because it's slow. You can get the Pandora, the Safari, all that, and then go over to Magic Kingdom and do that. Rachel's people were flying home that day.
They were flying home that day. If they weren't flying home and they had a ticket, I would just, and no VIP, I would tell them to go to the parks that they didn't get to do, like the rides that they didn't get to do.
Yeah.
That's just more of a catch up. Let me do last minute stuff type of day. But no, my guys went home that day.
The last thing mine was like for the last day, the travel day, it was like Disney Springs. Just go relax, pack up, go to Disney Springs for last minute souvenirs, and then travel home. I would assume y'all's were probably close to that.
Mine didn't
Terry's
have
probably
that.
had you doing more parks.
What I told you is the end of mine.
Mine says to eat at Landscape of Flavors and Art of Animation. One last walkthrough through Cars and Lion King Courtyard for photos. The Mirrors Connect, you catch that. And then if you have time, go to the Wave with the Contemporary if you have a late afternoon or evening flight. But it does tell you to don't squeeze in a final park day on the last day. It says better leave wanting more because that's, what you want for the next time.
But you paid for a 7-day park hopper ticket.
Yeah. See, I had a potential client give me a ChatGPT itinerary, and I was like, I love ChatGPT. I use it. I said, but for what you want, you don't need a 7-day hopper ticket.
No.
And that's exactly what it recommended.
You can use some suggestions for it, but I wouldn't build your whole.
Right.
I wonder if it's because when you go on to price something out on Disney's website, on the consumer end or on our end, it automatically gives you the max amount of tickets, no matter what. That's what it's going to do. So I'm sure AI is pulling from that. Like if I was to put these dates in, what is Disney going to recommend for tickets? And of course, Disney wants you to have a ticket every day because if you're not going into the park, you still paid for it. They're not losing any money on it. You are.
I think overall AI, like y'all just said, it's fine. Bring it. If you want to bring it to us and say, hey, this is what ChatGPT, this is what Gemini, this is what Claude and Grok said. I like this idea. I like this overall itinerary. Can we replicate this in any way? We'll be glad to work around it.
It's an outline. It's not the essay. It's an outline. Like when you're in high school writing, you've got to fluff it up though.
The benefit of booking with a travel agent over booking through and you can't book your trip through an AI yet. So taking
I like how you put that there yet.
But when it sits there and says all these restaurants, there are hidden gems. Flying Fish Rachel raves about, but
it wasn't mentioned.
Never recommended through any of our AIs because it's not one that's high on the list of families a lot of the time.
Or Topolino's.
Yeah.
Which is shocking because that's a hard one to get. I feel like Topolino's should be up there with on your rest day. This is a great place to go. like for your character breakfast. Like if this is what you
Right.
want to do on that day, that's a fantastic place to go.
And the
Correct.
fact that it didn't even recommend a VIP tour when it's
Yeah.
the
Crazy
busiest
to me.
week, it did for you. Okay.
Well, it said if
I
it
mean,
was
I
in the
get
budget to
premium.
do
If it-
Premier Pass or a VIP, if it was in the budget.
Now,
I will
mine
just
did
say
give
for
me
those,
3 different budgets, and I chose the first one, but it gave
I will
me
say, yeah.
value,
What did it give you?
moderate, and
Yeah. Oh,
deluxe.
okay. How many nights was it? It was 5 nights. It was over $60,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And see, the one I
So-
priced out, like it didn't give me a full, like a right at price. It said about 10 to 15K for Art of Animation.
Right.
But like I said, if this is a family of 4, I'm not recommending Art of Animation unless you say you have to have that big room. I'm recommending Pop Century because you're getting the same benefit of the Skyliner. Is you have the one bus stop, and it's a little bit cheaper.
Mhm.
We have experience that the AI does not have.
Correct.
And I'm speaking to us as Magical Travel because that's who we work for. That's who we are. We love our company. But any travel agent is going to be better than ChatGPT because the person has the experience.
Yeah. And there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with utilizing it. Like Terry said, it's a great outline. I think, it's a great starting point. We can tweak it. We can go off
Mhm.
of it.
That's a great way to
know.
put a starting point. It's not where you end up.
Right.
Yeah,
So
'cause
I agree. Use it. AI is not going anywhere.
And you
So-
can't call AI in the middle of your trip and say, "Hey, it's crowded here. What do I need to do now? What
Mhm.
would be the best proposition to
Yeah.
go to?"
Right.
It's just going
Or,
to give you more information about what you already know that it just said.
hey, my flight got delayed. What do I do for transfers? Because that's exactly what happened on his arrival day. So
I think this was pretty fun overall. Like, I'm
I
really
liked
glad
it.
we did. It was a fun experience
None of
overall.
us have the same vacation.
No,
No.
Claude was probably the worst when it came to giving recommendations of stuff
But
that doesn't
so
exist.
detailed. Again,
was
it's that
very
person that's
detailed.
just making you believe they know what they're talking about because they
It's like a
just don't stop
salesperson.
talking.
Yes.
Yeah, a salesperson.
Yeah.
And it was about between $11,000 and $12,000 is what you were. And it does tell you that like the value, like it says value tiers deliver 90% of the Disney Magic at 51% of the deluxe price. So if that's important to you, then go with this. But then it gave me Caribbean Beach and then it gave me Polynesian as my other 2 options and listed why if you wanted to go with those.
But I think that if you sat there and said, like, the Festival of Fantasy Parade, and this is somebody's first trip, and that's like, we suggest you seeing this at 3:00, and you've watched the YouTube video, and you're like, oh, this looks really fun, I'm ready to do it, and you sit down and it's not that.
When's the
You're
dragon
disappointed.
coming?
You're fully disappointed.
when's the
Yes.
dragon coming?
When
And it like gave you the 7-day park hopper, and you don't need a 7-day park
you don't
hopper.
need it.
I'm not going to dog Claude all that much. I mean, I use AI a lot in my everyday life doing different things, but we wanted to talk about how it looks on our side of stuff when you're coming to us with AI. You think you know that it knows more than us. Some might know just as much, but there's one out there that I know of that doesn't know half of the stuff. Well, that's going to do it for today's episode. You can get a hold of all of us at magicaltravel.com and all the great agents over there. Like I said, bring your AI outline to any of us that you like. They are really interested in these things and what it had to say. We will be glad to work around whatever travel plan you want to work with. We can work around the budget that you want to work with. They're all great.
And offer
great
you
people.
things that they don't even suggest.
Yeah.
When it comes to socials, you can find us at Castle of Cauldrons, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, video podcast all over now over at YouTube and on Spotify. Usually the video on Spotify is a day late. You give us a chance to just rate us, review us on any of those places. It'd be great. It helps us be seen a little bit more. For those who've been listening for the past 60 episodes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for sticking with us.
Yeah, this is Rachel let me start doing this, and
Thank
I'm
you,
always
Rachel.
grateful that she's brought Micah and Terry into the podcast world with me, and we've grown so much as a friend group.
I thought you were going
But
to say a
being able to-
family.
Family.
Well, y'all are like sisters to me. We talked about last week with y'all grabbing
Mhm.
my annual pass.
I'm glad you said annual pass.
We sit there and we get to know more of our agents, bring them in, some that have never been some of these trainings that we've been to and whatnot. So, it's always fun just to sit here and talk to all of y'all.
Yes, and thank you for the agents with Magical Travel that have come on the
Yeah,
podcast.
thank you.
We
We
can't
love
do
that.
this. Yeah, we can't do this without you guys.
Well, except
Thank you.
Allison. I mean, Allison, moon landing. stuff.
Siobhan.
Once you can come back around knowing that we landed on the moon, we'll let you back on. But until the next time, we will see you on the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.